Now, one of the most confusing things, though, in the Bible is raising up seed to your brother anyway. Now, Judah's son is the first time you see that anyway. In the Bible itself, in the Old Testament. And this is before Moses made it a law. Yeah, that's right. Technically, yeah, right. Now, there was also a problem with Dinah, right? Where she's going to Shechem's, right, city and had sex with him, and the brothers overreacted, right? Too, right? Because they're pretending, I don't know, that Shechem treated her like a harlot. And that too is condemnation for Dinah even being around them, right? It's like a young girl is in love with a young boy. And the girl is going to the boy and they had sex, right? And what Simeon and Levi did was trick the men, right, into thinking if they did something, right, they could become part of their family and him marry the girl anyway, right? Well, the problem with that is, okay, A, she's going to him, right, to their city from her family, right, to begin with. If he slept with her, it don't sound like he raped her either, right? The young man also wanted to marry her. And didn't say he didn't, right? Now, but Levi and Simeon tricked them into getting circumcised, and then when they were sore, right, slew them, right? Which is an easy thing to do if you circumcise yourself and you know what that's about, right? And Jacob didn't like that, right? He was mad with his own sons, and they received less of a blessing they would have received otherwise, right? And he cursed their anger, their wrath. Do you understand, right? They overreacted, even in Jacob's opinion, and he's the father of Dinah. They're just the brothers. Now let's go on with Judah, right, and Tamar. So Judah's son marries this girl named Tamar, but he dies before she has a child with him, right? So the second brother is supposed to raise up seed, but instead he spills it on the ground, right? And he too dies from that, after that, right? Without raising up seed. Now he still had a younger son, right? Again, right? Who still could raise up seed to the firstborn, right? But as the child is getting old enough, right, he don't want him to do it. He's blaming her, the Lord, for what happened to his first two sons when they were the disobedient sons, right? Now, this also ain't talking about masturbation or things like that, right? He was supposed to do something, right? And because he didn't, right, he was punished for it, basically, right, with his own demise, right? Now, the only way the girl could figure out to even have a child is she tricked Judah himself, right, into sleeping with her one night, got pregnant by him right away, right, luckily, and again, asking for a boon because he was treating her like a harlot. So he gave her a boon of a staff or something, right? And again, when he found out she was pregnant, right, he again wanted to stone her butt. Why do you think the parable of Jesus forgiving the wife caught in the act of adultery is in the Bible in the first place? Mm-hmm. See, your problem is self-righteousness. And when you're self-righteous, you even punish the innocent with the guilty like Satan does, right? Now, when something bad happens, like Jesus said, do you suppose that because something bad happens to someone, they're the worst sinner on the planet? Right? He even gives examples of that in the Bible. But at the same time, right, they're not really doing no more worse for wear than anyone else, right? Right. And again, if Satan can attack Job through the elements, right? Through human beings, right? Through bulls, right? Whatever the hell that means, right? And inflict him so badly he wished he was never born, right? And that the doors of his mother's womb were never opened and a man-child was born, right? Satan can make you feel that bad. Whether you're following him or not, by the way. It's like people in the Midwest who are dealing with tornadoes. Why is that happening? The weather, right? Who can control the weather? I don't know. Nobody really but God, right? But why is the weather bad? I don't know, right? It's something we're doing, though, in the planet itself that could be causing the tornadoes, but we don't know what it is, right? I know. Now, like I told you, I know, I got a question to ask you, though. Do you think it was this bad before the Europeans came over to America or after? I think after, because the Indians lived here fine, right? Ever since they got here. Once we got here, we're dealing with all kinds of problems. From fires to hurricanes to... And we're also changing the environment. We're also putting fuel in the air, and it's exhaust, by the way. Right? And again, we're denying what we're seeing. No. Is our own fault. No. We just don't understand why it's happening or what we're doing wrong. And therefore, we're pretending it's an act of God. No. But John does talk about burning the trees, right? And things of that nature. What do you think the tree's purpose was? And when the Indians had the trees, right? What do trees do if there's a tornado, right? They absorb the impact, right? Or you might not even have one, right? Trees help the environment, idiot. But if you cut them all down, right, to where there's a third less trees, right, you might change your environment, right, and it causes all these tornadoes. Right? But you can't see that right away. All you know is the tornadoes are happening, right? But you don't know why. But yet the Indians lived here also for thousands of years, right? And they don't report all of that. All this happened when we came over and started cutting down the trees, right? To make room for our land. Yet the difference between us and the Indians is they lived off the land, right? They didn't build skyscrapers or all this shit we're building. Excuse my French there. Therefore, their environment never changed until we got here. And I'll say we because I'm European too. But again, they got over here through Asia. And again, we all come from Central region anyway. Central Asia, right? Which is the Middle East, right? We all spread out over the planet, idiot. Over thousands of years, too, right? But we play games with each other. We judge each other. We rush to rash decisions. I know. And then everybody else has to deal with the consequences, whether we understand what's going on or not, right? Even scientists can't explain the weather pattern. But also, it's called what we know in recorded history. Yet, once we started recording it, it seems to be getting worse. Right. And not better. Mm-hmm. And trust me, I'm praying about it best I can, right? But I'm still not able to stop a damn hurricane like Jesus did with the water, the storm on the Galilee Sea, right? Or like, Jonah and the whale. Which is a little superstitious, though, at the time, too. But the whole point is, we blame God or nature when we're the one changing the surface of the planet. And we play dumb, we don't know why it's happening as well. Mm-hmm. Well, I think it has something to do with you cutting down all these trees, right? Trees also act as a barrier against tornadoes, right? It might be harder for the wind to blow, or form a vortex, right? Think about it that way, too.